'cause size isn't everything.
If you could see what I got going on over here, it's hilarious. I'll show you some blueprints covering up the skylight. I've got this blanket over the door. I'm not wearing any pants. I'm just kidding. I am wearing pants.
That is a nice feature about working from home, though.
They say it's the flow of the ocean, or is it the depth of your heart? Could it be the intent of your message? What is the thing that sets you apart? Well, I know it don't matter at all how it looks, if you're big or you're small. You gotta know it's the love that you bring, 'cause size isn't everything.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I had to twist Ava's arm to come and do this today. So we're going to get started by a little repeat after me. It's very simple.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Ava.
Hi, I'm Eva, and I own Fossello's. It's actually Eva.
I actually asked. You see, this is why. Is this your
We
next?
have an appointment now.
This is your next interview coming in.
No, this is the first and only.
This is going to be great. My purpose behind this is just to shine a light on some small businesses who are great for their community, but also the people behind them are cool. Not often do they like to be out front, but it's important for people to know the person behind the vision, the passion, the dream. One of the universal struggles of everyone that I've talked to is this juggle of being an entrepreneur and trying to manage kids. How many kids do you have?
We just have 2. That's a lot for us, but yeah, just 2, thank goodness.
It's a lot for us too. And our kids are similar age, right?
We have a bigger gap between our 2. Yeah,
Smart.
yours are pretty close. Yeah, I need it. My baby number 2 was this store.
So you have 3.
Yeah.
And then you had another baby because you've got another store up in Kelowna now.
Yeah, and then my husband. So really I have 5.
To give a little context, you're in Sechelt. It's a beautiful little seaside community on the coast of British Columbia. I know the area well because my parents live not too far from your store. My mom's a big fan. She would always say that there's this cool store in Sechelt, women's clothing. And being the snob that I am, I was like, okay, there's no cool stores, really cool stores. I just felt like Donald Trump there for a second.
Oh God, that's funny. Don't do that.
No, don't do that. And
Anyways,
then we came by and Rebecca fell in love with your store. And
we try.
why do you not carry men's clothes?
It's not my wheelhouse.
So let's talk about your wheelhouse because you curate some of the best clothes. You've got some sort of superpower in terms of style. What's your secret? Like, where did this whole thing start? Why did you open the store?
First of all, what's nice is you don't see all the mistakes. So what you see on the floor is all the good choices. But I make a ton of bad choices too. And there's styles that come in and I go, oh God, what was I thinking?
Well, it's nice to know that you're human because honestly, like your Instagram feed and the store, I'm not purchasing for myself, but I'm inspired by it. And Rebecca has a lot of your clothes and I think it's really cool. So what were you inspired by?
So I grew up the youngest of 5 girls. So anyone that has kind of older siblings can probably relate to the amount of hand-me-downs. So for me, yes, trends are important and they're fun and they're exciting. But looking back at that, growing up like that, I just totally remember the few pieces that I got that were mine and not my sister's. Later in high school, I got my first job working in retail. And I realized that there was that connection that I loved, helping women find those pieces that made them feel like the best version of themselves.
You and I have a very different perspective because I'm the oldest of 5.
Oh, you got the first round.
A lot of it was like hockey equipment. I would pass it down to my brothers. They would never get like a new pair of hockey pants or something like that. My brother and I, when my brother was still in high school, we actually co-bought a sweater from the Gap together. It was just a plain black sweater. And we didn't have enough money really to buy it individually. So
you co-bought it.
I owned the sweat and he owned the tur, and we would share this back and forth. I wasn't even living at home. So I would have it for like 6 months and then I would give it to him for 6 months.
Oh my God.
And we would go back and forth. It's hard to articulate what that feeling is.
Totally. Connecting someone to a piece that they can, and not buying a piece that they're just going to wear a few times and it's going to end up in the landfill.
You can make a lot of money getting people into things and convincing them that they need this next thing. Like, especially on the internet right now, you know, people posting pictures and saying, oh, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this. It's really hard to defend against that, whether it's clothing or something else. I see a lot of people trying to shift that perspective back, choosing things that you feel good about, buying from individuals that they know, they have a connection with.
That's something I feel really passionate about. Yes, I love new fashion. I'm super inspired by it. The day that stops exciting me, I won't do this business anymore. So of course I'm passionate about that.
So for the last 8 years, you've built that connection. And then at some point you decided that it was time to open another store. In fact, you opened a store in Kelowna and I bought a lakefront property outside of Kelowna. So you and I are following each other around.
When I first opened this store, it had been on my mind to do this for like a long time. My family and I would travel within BC because I knew I wanted it within BC. We did a lot of research in different areas and we just landed in Kelowna. We found that there was a bit of a gap in the market. It's not a bad place to visit. It's beautiful.
So when you go out buying clothes, where do you source them? Like, do you have certain designers that you're inspired by?
One thing my husband always is annoyed with me is that I do so much research. If I'm not working and I'm not being a mom, then I'm researching. And especially right now, I'm pretty driven by the brands that are taking huge strides in their environmental footprint and how they're producing the goods.
Is there one in particular that stands out to you?
When we get orders in, they come in so much packaging, so much plastic. This brand out of Australia, I had fallen in love with the brand. They don't use any synthetic fabric.
What's the name of the company?
It's called Sansia.
Sansia.
Yeah. When the box came in, our first order, all the packaging is totally biodegradable, which is really cool. That's like a huge step forward in fashion.
So you opened the store in Kelowna a year ago. Now you have 2 stores open. You shut the doors for a while. Are you still closed?
Right now we're open to a much lesser capacity. We're really only allowing one person in at a time. And then in Kelowna, we have extended that to about 5 people in at a time because the space is so much bigger.
For me, the idea of having 2 stores kind of sitting idle, all of that stock in there, paying rent in 2 different locations, having staff, I can't imagine what the financial pressure is like and was like.
For sure. When we first decided to shut the stores, the idea in my head was that it was just temporary, like very short-lived. And then it kind of was just every week. It's a lot of adjusting. It's definitely not what we planned for. Between the 2 stores, we have over $500,000 in inventory, which is a lot. And yeah, we were closed without any customers for 2 months.
You've built your business on the personal interaction inside the store. How are you feeling right now?
I think every day is very different. Some days I feel super like optimistic. Just recently we're starting to let people in the doors again and it feels so weird, but it's also like, thank God, you know?
Yeah.
But then other days I feel like there's still a lot more questions than there are answers. When will we be allowed to open the doors freely and have people just shop as they have in the past? Nobody knows that answer, right?
Yeah. So like, if you were looking down the path a little bit, are you feeling like this is something that you can gain a little bit of momentum from?
I do feel optimistic for sure. I think we can
weather the storm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's not easy, but I think we can.
I know that you are super committed to your community. You talked about looking at a charitable component.
There's a million charities that are doing amazing things and we want to support them all. However, we can raise funds for it. And we will choose every year or every season who we align with.
You do nothing small. Instead of deciding to donate to a charity, you decide to start an actual foundation, which
I really want to. Yeah,
I know.
It's been on my mind for a long time. So if anyone out there knows anything about starting a foundation, I'd love to hear some tips.
I don't know what it is about your clothes. I can't articulate it. Just everything seems to work across the board, like at the lake, traveling, casually, kind of dressing up. Do you have anything in the store that you can show me?
Just here, Julia, you do that.
Yeah, Julia, come on in. Hi, how's it going? Hi. So what I want you to do is find 2 of your favorite things that you got in the store. Oh, I like those sunglasses there.
These are my favorite.
Those are your 2 favorite? Okay, so tell me about the shirt. Or is it a dress?
This is a dress, and it's by the brand Sansia, and it's just like a light blush color, but it has like the funnest details throughout the torso area.
For all those like big events this summer. There's no events this summer.
They're individual events. People still
Yeah.
need to have a shower in the morning. I mean, it's a
Okay.
good thing I'm doing this today.
I haven't worn jeans in 2 months.
My
This
hair
my
is so
first time.
long, I have to keep hairspray right beside me. It's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
What else should we talk about?
I think it's important to mention something about the store, kind of going back to what you had asked is where did it start and stuff like that. Before I opened, I always found there was a lot of variety for like 25 and unders. And then there was a lot of variety for like 55 and olders. And so even though I don't like to categorize us in a certain age demographic, I feel like that's where we want to be the best, really in between age, where you don't want to dress the same as your babysitter or your teenage daughter. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
But you also don't want to dress the same as necessarily like your mom. It's not even about an age. It's just a bit of it must be a mindset, I guess.
That's perfect. My mom shops at your store.
Love your mom. You know what I liked the most about her?
What's
She
that?
didn't name drop. I had no idea because she would talk about her son, this and like Rebecca and stuff. And I had no idea who you were or the connection. And then when I finally found out, I was like, I like her even more now. She could have totally said that.
You can even say, and I hate doing interviews, and Todd made me do this.
Yes.
If
Okay.
you want.
I can't. Rebecca, start over.
And look, we've got someone shopping.
I love interviews. My favorite thing to do. That's one brand that I fell in love with out of Australia.
Is someone
I
arresting you?
didn't. Yeah, I'm done.
The fashion police are there. That shirt looks wicked. Tell me about the hat.
Dress.
Whatever. Dress, skirt.
Get
Honestly,
it together, Todd.
when I used to go shopping with my mom, you'd leave the linoleum and you'd go onto the carpet, which is where all the clothes were. I was like 6 or 7 and I would be like, oh, it is so hot in here. And I called it the desert. So my mom would be like, we have to go to the desert. We
Oh,
have
God.
to go to the desert. And I